Hey, what's up? It's Sin. Today I thought I'd talk about Dyson hair products in general because over the years I've accumulated a few, whether it was influenced or I just thought it was a good idea for my lifestyle. And I feel like there are things about them that people don't tell you because we're so used to seeing these 10-second clips on TikTok or whatever of people using it for a short period of time, but not necessarily longevity, how they last, all these nitpicky things that you experience. I thought this might be a good video to talk about my experiences with them, just in case like you're thinking about buying them or you want to be de-influenced, or maybe you really do think it's a good idea and it would work out for your lifestyle. Of course, I didn't get these all in one go. I did accumulate these throughout maybe the last 6 years or so. And every couple years I would buy one if I think it is the type that will work out with my life. The first one I ever got was the Dyson Hairdryer, and then a couple years after that I decided to get the Airwrap, which is I think the most popular item from Dyson. And then a year or two after I got the Airwrap, I ended up getting the Airstrait. Just right off the bat, I would say I do not regret any of these three purchases. I think they work very well in my life, and I do use them all the time. I wouldn't say I can't live without them. That's just kind of something silly to say about anything that isn't a complete necessity, but they have changed my life for the better in a lot of ways. And out of all my tools, I do use them most of the time. I have one curling iron that I've had for 10 years, and every once in a while, maybe once or twice a year, I will use that one. But otherwise, in terms of just electronic hair tools, it's definitely just been these three. I think I'll just go in the order of how I bought them. I'll try to go through prices, what I purchased them at, if I got them as gifts, and then what they're kind of worth now, my experience with each individual item, and then talking about all three generally. I tried to go on the Dyson's website to get current prices of things, but it kind of changes depending on which exact model you get, and some newer ones have come out since I've purchased them. I have natural straight wavy hair. It's very thick, I have a lot of it, and it's very long. And I'll just get started with this Dyson hairdryer, it was a little bit life-changing, to be honest with you. So this is a Dyson hairdryer. I got this about 6 years ago now. I think at the time this was $400, and now it's way less than that. I think it's because it's one of their older products. And at the time when I received this, so this was a birthday gift in I think 2019, and even at that time I had wanted it for so long. And when I got this, Dyson hair tools weren't as popular as they were now. Everybody was like, why are you spending so much on a hairdryer? But my entire life I'd had pretty long hair, and it would take me like hours to blow dry my hair. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it would take me like a really long time. And I thought if there was one item that I could keep my lovely long hair and also have it be even somewhat protective, I would be willing to invest in it. But despite all of the bad press I got from my friends and family for getting this or wanting it so badly, I never had any regrets. From the first time I used it, it was just so amazing. It was so powerful and so strong, and it dried my hair in literally like maybe less than 10 or 20 minutes. And for me, that was a big deal because it cut at least half of my time down. And when I cut half my time down, that is time I am saving that I am adding back into my life. And I am always kind of willing to invest in things that will improve my quality of life or help me save time. For me, that was worth it. If I could get a couple hours back every single week, I would be willing to spend a couple $100, and then this has lasted me. I use this at least maybe 3 or 4 times a week for the last 5 years. Are there some days I still air dry my hair? Yes, if I'm really lazy, but for the most part, I use this all the time. So back when this was gifted to me as a birthday gift, it was around $400. I think there might be some new hairdryer out now with all the different features, and it's going for around I think $430. But this specific one, it's now way cheaper. You can buy it refurbished, you can buy it used. In terms of just my experience with this, it's been really a holy grail for me. Things I didn't expect was because it is so powerful, it does tangle your hair. And I really don't think like any other hairdryer has tangled my hair to the amount that this has. I get so many tangles. and I really have to spend my time brushing it out. I still think the tangles are worth it because I'll take like a minute having to brush out my hair, but you know, this has saved me like so much other time. This is super powerful, but it blows your hair everywhere. This came with a ton of attachments that I almost have never used. I just use it straight like this. I have tried them, but I just realized I don't really need the attachments. This is pretty good enough because I bought it for the intention of it just being a hairdryer, and that's what I use it for. I do think if you have hair that is more prone to tangles, I would try it out before you buy it somehow. It kind of reminds me of a leaf blower. So next up is the Dyson Airwrap. It is the most popular item from Dyson. It's one that's talked about, and it was on my wish list for a very, very long time before I finally bought it. I had actually wanted to buy the Airwrap shortly after I bought the hairdryer because I realized how awesome it was. But you know, I bit my tongue for a couple years to see if, oh, do I really need it? They've come out with a bunch of new versions since I originally wanted it. They originally had a short version. I bought it when it was the long version that came with long barrels that you can switch back and forth. So I believe they call this one the Airwrap Long B. It can go for anywhere as high as about $600 now. I remember when I was buying it, it was $500, and then I got this one refurbished. So when you get something refurbished, especially the Airwrap, it's cheaper. This was about $100 off. So I ended up buying this Airwrap for about $3.99 at the time. And it was still a lot of money, but I had a feeling that I would use it a lot. With tax and everything, I think it ended up being maybe about $420, $430. This is the one that really kind of opened my eyes to like, oh, you really have to know yourself before you buy an item. First of all, there's a very high learning curve with the Airwrap. Yes, you might be able to curl your very first strand right away, but to do your whole head, it took a lot of practice. It was definitely fun practice because I enjoyed using it and learning it, but it did get frustrating at times. There are so many Airwrap tutorials to watch, and everyone does it in their own different way. Dyson has their own tutorials on teaching you how to do it, but there are multiple different ways you can do your hair with it. Some people like to section out their hair before they use it. I just go strand by strand throughout my hair, and that works well for me. I'm really glad I bought it when I did because originally when it first came out, you had to change the barrel out. You would have to disassemble it. But when I got it, it already came with the one where you can just twist it onto which side you're using. Sometimes it's better to wait, especially for new technology that just came out and just seems sexy in the moment. Your first couple times using it, it's going to be hard to achieve that perfect hair blowout that you want. Another thing about this is it's not going to give you like super tight curls. If you like the type of piecey curly hair, this won't always do that because it does add a lot of volume to your hair. So sometimes it might look tad frizzy, or you might have bigger curls that just look like they were blown out. The biggest thing I wish I had considered before I bought this Airwrap was when I do my hair. So some people shower in the morning, some people shower at night, right? I'm the type of person, I like to shower and wash my hair at night. And when you think about it, if you're doing your hair at night, so the purpose of this is to curl your hair as you're drying it, right? If I'm doing that at night, it means I have to sleep in the curls all night before I wake up in the next morning. Is that the biggest deal? Not necessarily, but you kind of have to know yourself. How do you sleep? Like, are you willing to kind of put your hair up in a certain way as you sleep? I can definitely see for some people, their hair only looks good right after it's done, then they go to sleep, and then they wake up with frizzy hair that is a little bit looser curls than the night before. Thankfully, I don't always have that problem, but there were other things I had to consider. For example, at night, after I wash my hair at like 8 p.m. at night, do I have the energy to then curl my hair when I'm trying to get ready for bed? The answer is not always, and sometimes I do find myself getting lazy. I'm like, yes, I want curly hair for the next day, but I'm not willing to go to sleep later because of it. When I used to use a hair curler to curl my hair, I could blow dry my hair at night, go to sleep with dry hair, and then wake up in the morning 20 minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier, and just do my hair in the morning. Then my curls would kind of look good all day. I would say because my hair holds curls well, it wasn't always an issue for me to sleep in my curls at night. You can also do things like put your hair in a bun. Because I can't use this necessarily in the morning because I don't wash my hair often in the morning, the utility of this is really restricted to nighttime. I can theoretically spray my hair wet and use this, but it kind of defeats the purpose of saving me time as I am drying my hair plus curling it at the same time. Another thing about this is you get really sweaty when you're using it because it's so hot and it's like you're taking a while to curl your hair. The thing with the curling iron is that like, oh yeah, the heat is kind of like into that one area, and as you're curling your hair, you don't necessarily feel the heat except in that area. Whereas this, because it's blowing heat everywhere, your entire body, the entire room kind of gets hot. So it's like if you're the type like me to take hot showers and then you come out of the shower already kind of hot and then you're using this, you're gonna sweat. And another thing to realize about this, that it takes your hair from damp to dry, it doesn't take it from wet to dry. So you still also have to blow dry your hair either with this or with something else. And I realized when I take this off, you can use this as a hairdryer if you don't have anything else. If I go traveling, I'm not going to bring multiple tools. I'll just use this as a hairdryer. But I realized like this is not as strong as something like this. So just another thing to keep in mind. You can definitely use it as a hairdryer, but I would say it does not substitute for something like the Dyson hairdryer. Next is the Airstrait. So I bought this about a year and a half after I got the Dyson Airwrap, because I realized I used it so much and I liked it so much, but I didn't always want my hair to be curly. I sometimes wanted it to be straight. You know, as a kid, I always wanted that pin straight Asian hair, but I never had that hair type. I was like, oh, how amazing would it be if I could just straighten my hair, have it be straight, and have it stay straight. Also for me, I think straight hair is less fussy. Sometimes with curls, you have to mess around with it, sometimes redo it. And also it can knot up if you're like putting up your hair or whatever. But I realized with straight hair, I mess with it a lot less. I do enjoy having straight hair. I thought this would be a wonderful investment for me because I already use so many Dyson products and like them, and I bet this is going to be great. Now this is different from the other straightener. They have another straightener where it's cordless and then you can cut it down and use it that way. That's not the one I wanted. I specifically wanted this one with the cord, because the other one, the charge doesn't last that long, and then I knew for me I would just be straightening my hair either out of the shower or at my makeup table. The cord thing was never a thing that bothered me. This one also takes your hair from damp to dry, and I thought that would be wonderful. I think they do also have new versions of this one now. It's either $400 or $500, but when I got this, I think the Airstrait was about maybe $329 or something like that, and then I got it refurbished, so it ended up only being $250. It was like a sale on top of a sale, because then you got it refurbished, but then the price was already low from a different sale. So I got this for $250, so this is the cheapest out of all of my Dyson hair products, and I use it just as much. So because it takes your hair from damp to dry, you have all of the same problems as the Airwrap. You need something else to dry your hair. This one has a function where you can lock it and then the air will come out here as if it's a hairdryer. The power, however, is not the same as the Dyson hairdryer. This can come handy in a pinch because just like the Airwrap, you can travel with it and not have to bring other tools. And also in addition to that, if you wash your hair at night, it's important to consider that you're going to go to sleep with your super straight hair. I've seen this used on a lot of different hair types, and it seems to work very well no matter what kind of hair you have. One thing about this that I did not consider, and I think it's just because of my specific hair type, it's thick, it's not super pin straight at baseline, and when I use this, yes, it makes my hair very straight, but I don't have that super glossy finish that I feel like some other people I've seen on TikTok or something have. Yes, it makes my hair very straight, and yes, the straightness kind of lasts until my next hair wash, but I would say it's not the silky hair that I was envisioning. And like I said, myself, I have pretty healthy hair. However, it's just not silky. So now that I've talked about all the products individually, I want to just talk about my general experience with them. I have my notes on here. I would say all three of them are very loud, louder than I expected, because when you're watching these videos on Instagram Shorts, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, whatever, they put either music over it or they speed it up and then they lower the volume, and you can't actually tell how loud the products are, but they are pretty loud. And I think that's important to consider if you have roommates or if you live with someone else. Because if you wake up in the morning and you take a shower in the morning and then you turn this on to dry your hair, it's going to be loud, and it's possible you'll wake some people up. It's even possible you'll wake yourself up. That being said, it's so loud to the point that if I put on noise canceling AirPods or something, I can still hear the noise of these gadgets. And that's even if I have music on a super high volume. Sometimes I won't even be able to hear the music even though it's in my ear in noise canceling mode. That being said, it's also kind of annoying to be using headphones or AirPods when you are doing your hair because you have to maneuver your hair or manipulate it and your earbuds or headphones or whatever can fall out. So as someone who used to curl their hair, straighten their hair while they were listening to music to get ready, I realized I can't do that with these products, which is a little bit of a shame because it takes romanticizing out of getting ready sometimes. Another thing is these items, they're all pretty bulky. I show you all the cords that it came with. Yes, you have this part that is pretty big, right? But then you keep going and then you'll have, oh my god, it's so tangled. But then you'll have this giant part of the battery that is just helping it have its maximum force. This is the part that goes into the outlet, and this is pretty bulky too. So you need a lot of space on your outlet in order to use these items. I would say these items are not the type that you can put like 3 or 5 of them in your bathroom and then have it look super aesthetic just because everything is so bulky, unless you have a specific system designed to kind of hide the wires or like a giant outlet to actually be able to store all of these kind of bulky outlets or cables. Another thing is the cable itself is relatively thick, and yes, that helps the longevity of the items, but it also means that's just another thing that's kind of bulky you have to keep in mind. I would say in general, I got most of these refurbished, and the one I didn't get refurbished, I got it brand new, it was actually a gift. I would say in terms of are they worth what they're worth, don't know how I can speak to that accurately. Do I regret getting any of these? No, but if they were to break tomorrow, would I run to the store and get another one right away? Not sure. Something you have to consider is just, does it make sense for your lifestyle and your budget? If it's possibly yes, and you think that it will save you time, make your life better, I would say just try it, see if it works out. I'm not going to tell someone or tell them to panic buy it by any means. I think you can definitely live without it. It does seem like the prices kind of change. Sometimes they go up, for some other items it goes down, and then they have sales all the time. So I would say you can wait around for a sale, try to buy it refurbished. I had no issues with my refurbished products, but I know that's not always the case. I have heard horror stories about buying refurbished, even from Dyson directly, which is what I did. It's a bit of a risk you have to take. There are some guarantees, and something breaks, they're gonna send you a new one or replace it, but I haven't heard amazing things about the customer service when it came to refurbished items in the case that you do have a problem. I've never had to use them, so I can't speak to them personally. I would say they also go on sale on places like Costco, sometimes Nordstrom has sales, especially around things like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and they come out in all these different colors, so you can also wait around for like the color that you actually want, or just wait around until a color that you might actually want drops. I will say I did not consider color at all when I was purchasing any of these. I got this copper one because it was just the color that was on sale at the moment. And the same thing with my Dyson Airwrap. This just happened to have been the color that was available at the time when I decided to purchase it. I remember February of 2025, they came out with this like beautiful red and gold color one. And it just was perfect because it was Valentine's Day, but it was also like Chinese New Year, and I wanted that color really badly, but I already had one, so I was like, no thank you. And if there's any way for you to get cash back on either your credit card or on even one of those online rebate websites, it's definitely worth it, because when you're spending a couple $100s and you just get a percentage back, it is definitely worth it. Results vary widely depending on how you do your hair with it. I'm also not going for like a super perfect kind of look, because I realized you can't get that with these. You kind of get more blown out, slightly frizzy look. You also have to ask yourself, are you the type of person that does your hair a lot? If you're not the type of person that does their hair and you kind of just let your hair hang out, you're not going to magically do your hair all the time. I am someone, I thought these were a good investment for me because I did my hair all the time. Even before I got the Airwrap, I would at least try to curl my hair once a week. I will say I don't think my hair is very damaged. before I got the Dyson hair products, I think I had pretty average hair, like normal hair. I didn't color it, I didn't treat it, I didn't do anything because I had a lot of bad experiences in high school with dyeing my hair and then having my hair be super damaged. But nowadays, even though I get my hair dyed blonde, clearly, and I get balayage for my hair, which is healthier than I think dyeing your whole head, but it's still not the healthiest thing to do. I think the Dyson products have definitely helped keep my hair very healthy. Like, my hairdressers never say that my hair is damaged or anything. They just tell me my hair is very strong. But you know, from my high school experiences, that wasn't always the case. I think in total, just keeping your hair looking very good, like, you just have to take care of it. Whether it's through these products or through like whatever hair products that you end up using in the shower, after the shower, and then just trying to keep your hair out of the sun or tying it up when you have to. I think it's super important. And just going for hairstyles and even hair dyes that will keep your hair looking healthy. I will say in general, I think these 3 products have made my life a little better. It's made my life a little easier. I'm the type that I like to do my hair. And when I have my hair done, I just feel so much better about everything. I'm more likely to go out, I'm more likely to hang out with friends, and I just feel a lot more confident when I have my hair done. And for me, that's worth a lot. I'm never going to tell somebody that you need these products, but they have been a net positive in my life. Now, if I was in a different circumstance in my life, for example, if I was still in high school or college without a lot more disposable income, then these might not be the right choice for me. You have to kind of know your financial situation. But for me, even as somebody who was basically living off student loans for the last 4 years, I was able to budget to get the hair products that I wanted, albeit they were refurbished. So, you know, just do whatever is best for you and your lifestyle. And for me, for someone who's had these products for about 5 or 6 years, none of them have broken. I've never had any issues with them, which is great. Also, my review is a bit tainted because, for example, the hairdryer, I got this as a gift. So I don't know if in reality, like, it's actually worth what it is. Like, I've never had that experience of how much it actually costs using it. I would say the Airstrait is probably my most redundant purchase out of all of them because I can technically straighten my hair with the hairdryer and like a brush. I would like take the brush and then I can go down with my hairdryer. However, that's a bit harder for me to do, and I definitely prefer the use of the Airstrait more, and it makes my hair more straight than a hairdryer and a brush would. In that terms, it definitely saves me time. I will say I have the opposite experience with the Airwrap, where this actually takes me more time than actually using a curling iron. Doing my entire head with this takes time. I've never timed myself doing it, but a curling iron, like, I've over the years developed a technique where I just curl my hair in 5 to 10 minutes. Whereas this, because I have to wait for the hair to dry and then do it and then make sure my hair's dry after I release it, it definitely takes more time. This has saved me time in terms of, like, yes, it dries and curls at the same time, but if I'm just talking about just the curling part, this definitely takes longer than a traditional hair curler. I would say the curls from this definitely do last at least 2 to 3 days on me, and that's almost the same as a traditional hair curler. I do notice the curls kind of falling flat on day 3, but I usually don't stretch my hair washes out that long anyway, so it's not a big deal for me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful, kind of just talking about my experiences with these products. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!